After helping hundreds of buyers move throughout San Francisco and the Peninsula, I've learned 5 lessons that show up time and time again. And honestly, the city that people think in the beginning that they want to move to is often not where they end up buying. I've had buyers come to me absolutely convinced they wanted to be in Burlingame. Others were certain that San Mateo was their answer. And then there are those buyers that only wanted to live in Millbrae. Then we started touring. And often than not, a few weekends later, these buyers end up somewhere completely different, and it wasn't because they compromised. And it was because they learned something about themselves during this process. The mistake most buyers make isn't choosing the wrong city. The mistake often is asking the wrong questions. Instead of asking yourself, what is the best peninsula city? The better question is, which peninsula city fits the way I want to live? And that is where the first lesson begins. Lesson 1, the city you think you want is rarely the one you end up choosing. Often buyers fall in love with what they think is the perfect location before they've even explored options. Maybe they have friends in Burlingame. Maybe they've heard great things about San Mateo and their restaurants. It's also possible that they read online that Millbrae has great transit options for working professionals. But whatever that reason might be, the buyer becomes attached to that city before they start touring. But once we start touring, priorities starts to shift. I've seen buyers who thought they wanted Burlingame and realized they care more about transit access. And I've also seen buyers who focused entirely in San Mateo just to discover that they typically prefer somewhere a little bit north towards San Francisco or quieter streets. Or sometimes they prefer an entire different vibe within the neighborhood. And what actually changes their mind isn't the house, it's the lifestyle. Which brings me to the second lesson. Lesson 2, people buy a house, but they live a lifestyle. This is one of the biggest things buyers underestimate. When buyers start their search, often they're focused on the home, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, the square footage, and the type of home. They're overly focused on the property itself. During buyer consultations, buyers often tell me the type of kitchen they dream for, whether they want a home that's renovated, move-in ready, or they're okay with some original charm. But what they've always neglected to talk about is what they would do after they move in. What is your lifestyle? Where do you work? How do you see yourself going from home to work and recreation? What they should also talk about is where they would grab their morning coffee and whether they can walk to amenities like restaurants and dinner. And depending on the buyer, we should also talk about schools. Is it easy to drop off? Is schools something we care about in the near future? Whether they enjoy spending time within the neighborhood, or do they typically leave the neighborhood and get to the next destination? With my buyer consultations, I often tell buyers, you're not just buying a home. You're choosing your daily routine. And that's why typically you have 2 buyers with the exact same budget typically end up buying in completely different locations. And that's because they're solving different lifestyle problems. And once buyers understand that, they usually discover something else. Location, location, location. The size of the home, the condition of the home, all of that potentially can change with the right budget. But the location and your lifestyle is typically something that do not change. So that leads me to lesson 3. The best peninsula city's definition isn't what people think it is. It's really dependent on who lives in it and who you are. And this is important because this is where I think a lot of online advice gets it wrong. People want rankings. They want someone or something like AI, the web, to tell them which city is ranked number 1. But truthfully, after 13 years of being in the business and helping hundreds of buyers into their homes, whether it's first time or a move-up situation, we have never found a universal answer because it doesn't exist. A young family thinking about kids in the future may prioritize schools, walkability to parks, and outdoor space. A biotech professional may want to choose to be closer to work, potentially South San Francisco. Someone who needs to fly in and out of San Francisco for work Airport access and transportation might be their number one goal. A hybrid work-from-home professional may care more about flexibility and commute options, versus somebody that might be looking to downsize may end up caring more about walkability and convenience. The city itself is not the answer. You, the buyer, your lifestyle and your routine is the answer. Once you're clear about your priorities, the right city starts revealing themselves very quickly. But you have to know who you are. And I'm here to help you discover that. And that is also why the next lesson surprises so many people. Lesson 4, the most expensive city is not always the best fit. A lot of buyers assume that if they can afford the most expensive option, that's automatically where they should buy. But I've seen plenty of situations where that is not true. Sometimes buyers choose a less expensive city and end up significantly happier where they are. And don't get it wrong, it's not because they settle, because it actually fits their lifestyle better. Different cities offer different strengths. Some offers better walkability, some offer stronger transportation access, some offer larger homes within the same budget, some areas offer better flexibility. The goal isn't just buying the city everyone else wants. The goal is buying the city that makes the most sense for your life, your lifestyle. That leads me to lesson number 5. Lesson number 5 is probably the most important lesson I've learned in the past 13 years, helping hundreds of buyers into their homes. The buyers who seem happiest years later usually aren't just thinking about today. They were thinking about what life might look like 5 years from now. Will your family grow? Will your work change? Will your commute change? Will schools become more important? Will you need flexibility? While no one can predict the future perfectly, but a good real estate decision gives you options. And flexibility becomes incredibly valuable as life changes. And that is one reason why I always encourage buyers to think beyond their immediate needs. And that simply doesn't mean your needs today doesn't matter, but because tomorrow eventually arrives and we want to think 5, 10 years down the road. After helping hundreds of buyers move throughout San Francisco and the Peninsula, I've learned that there really isn't a perfect city. And there's not a city that's perfect for everyone. The best city is not just the most expensive one. It isn't necessarily the most popular, and it isn't necessarily the city you thought you wanted when you first started your search. The best city is the one that supports your lifestyle, your priorities, and the future that you're trying to build. And when buyers approach the decision that way, they almost always end up making better decisions. So to sum it all up, my name is Samantha Huang with Next Gen Properties. 精通国语英语，我会讲中文。I always start working with buyers with a 1-hour complimentary consultation. We're going to discuss your needs, your priorities. We're going to try to look 5, 10 years into the future to plan ahead. And we're going to work what pockets of neighborhoods have the biggest trajectory historically, and what pockets we see going into the future may potentially go into bigger gains. And if all of those work for you, we can work together. With me, my one promise to you is that your priorities come first. It is all about future planning for you and or your family.